Talking about some wide receivers on the other side, Iowa State's got two of them, and they're both pretty good. Jalen Knoll and Jaden Higgins, both over 1,000 receiving yards on the season. And for more information on the dynamic duo for Iowa State, we'll send it from one BP to another. Ben Parris, the third member of our team, down on the sideline. Ben, what do you got for us?
Brendan, thank you. Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll, the only wide receiver duo in the country to both have over 1,000 yards receiving this season. And while they're best friends on the field, it's the exact same way off the field as well. They met while Jaden was on his official visit to Iowa State after he decided to transfer after 2 seasons from Eastern Kentucky. The first thing Jalen Knoll noticed, his height. Jaden Higgins standing at 6'4". Knoll said this week that their playing styles really complement each other. While Jalen is able to work intermediate slots out of the slot, Jaden's height is what allows him to go deep downfield and come down with footballs. As he mentioned, these two are the best of friends. Jaden will be in Jalen's wedding during the offseason. They play a lot of college football 25 together. They like to go fishing together a lot. They watch film together. They always enjoy each other's presence, and they're going to be side by side today in the Big 12 Championship.
Back here in Arlington, Texas, Ben Parris down on the sideline. What are the sights and the sounds for fans here in AT&T Stadium?
Brendan, it is all business down here right now. The Iowa State fans occupying the north sideline, the Sun Devil fans down on the south. The players took their time when they got off the bus to break it in a little bit, look around the stadium. Kenny Dillingham taking some time with his wife and his son earlier this morning, but now it is all business. These guys are ready to go, and they're ready for kickoff.
Thank you, Ben. Back here at the place they call Jerry's World, 7-3 Iowa State. We'll send it down to the third member of our team, the other BP. Ben Parris, what do you got for us?
Thanks, BP. Something to look out for on Iowa State's package when they are inside the 10-yard line. On one of their plays on that series, they brought in defensive lineman Obald Niakuru. He's actually not listed on the Cyclones travel roster. 6 foot, 280 pounds, a defensive lineman, a redshirt freshman, was brought in to block. Kenny Dillingham noticed that personnel change and made some changes of his own. Wasn't enough there for ASU.
Sun Devils lead 10-7 after quarter number 1. For a quick break, we send it down to the third member of our crew, Ben Parris on the sideline. What do you got for us?
Brendan, Kenny Dillingham knows just a little bit about Iowa State. When he was the offensive coordinator at Auburn in 2019, then head coach Gus Malzahn allowed him to pick any team in the country to go study for 2 days, and he decided to go study at Iowa State. At that point in time, he thought they were achieving. They had made 3 straight bowl games, but it was still early in Matt Campbell's tenure. He said while he learned the X's and O's while he was there, the biggest takeaway he had was the genuineness of the culture that they had built. Campbell kind of knows the situation that Dillingham is in as well. In 2011, at 32 years old, he was hired at Toledo and was the youngest head coach in all of college football. To start this season at 34 years old, Kenny Dillingham was the youngest full-time coach in all of college football.
Sun Devils get the game's first stop. They take over up by 7. We send it down to the third member of our crew, Ben Parris on the sideline.
Yeah, guys, right after the missed field goal, Kenny Dillingham went over to the defense on the bench and said, red zone stops, red zone stops. That's the entire game. As they shift back to offense, Shimon Mateer is the guy to watch out there. Scadaboo came over to him after the touchdown of their last drive and said, good job. Kenny Dillingham telling us earlier this week that Shimon Mateer is one of the best blocking tight ends he's ever seen. He's very versatile. He's a big dude, but he's physical. He's one of the best, if not the best, blocking tight ends, and he's a huge reason why the run game has been working today.
17-10, Arizona State leads Iowa State. Third down upcoming, but before the third down, we'll send it down to the third member of our team, Ben Parris. What do you got?
With the third down pending coming out of the 2-minute warning, or rather the 2-minute timeout, Kenny Dillingham reiterating to the offense, get ready for a 2-minute drill with no timeouts. We know how important the middle 8 is to Arizona State. Iowa State will have the ball first going into the second half, so they want to get the ball back, and they're getting ready to go with some speed.
For him, both offenses have looked good. The Sun Devils have just been able to finish drives with the finishing the first half has not been the issue. It's been finishing the second half of games that has been a struggle for Kenny Dillingham and the Sun Devils this season. And for more on that, we send it down to the sideline with Ben Parris. Ben, what do you got for us?
That's exactly right, Riley. In their last two ranked matchups against BYU and Kansas State, Arizona State was outscored 34-10 in the second half. Coach Dillingham saying this week, we need to finish games better, play the full 60 minutes, and he even put it on himself saying, I need to coach better in the second half. They'll have to do it today against an Iowa State team that has been so strong on defense in the second half, allowing only 8 points a game in the back half of the game, 4.6 of those in the fourth quarter.
Halfway through the third quarter here in Arlington, it is all Sun Devils right now, 31-10. They are up over the Cyclones from Iowa State. They just cashed in on a turnover, first one of the ball game. 11 plays, 43 yards in 5 minutes and 28 seconds, capped off by an 8-yard touchdown reception by Xavier Guillory. And for more on Guillory, we send it down to Ben Parris.
Xavier Guillory does a special celebration each time he scores a touchdown. He's Native American. He comes from the Nez Perce tribe, and when he scores, he puts 2 fingers up behind his helmet representing feathers and covers his mouth with his arm. He told us during practice this week, it's covering your face like a warrior. He also reiterated this week that when the ball comes to you, it's time to make a play, and that's what the whole wide receiver corps has had to do with Jordan Tyson out.
And thanks for that, Ben. He said he got it from his cousin as well. It was 24-10 at the break. ESU led over Iowa State. They have forced 3 turnovers. They have scored on all 3. They're now up 45-10. We sent it down to Ben Parris on the sideline, who has more about this route that's currently happening.
When Xavier Guillory and Melquan Stovall got to the sideline after Scadaboo's second touchdown of the game, it was Hines Ward telling them, great block, great block. He was telling us this week that blocking as a wide receiver is non-negotiable. And for the wide receivers, you don't get the rock if you don't block.
They were fantastic on that play. Sun Devils, though, might have already put wraps on this one, up 45-10 over Iowa State. And if you're like the rest of us, you're starting to think, okay, college football playoff, where are they playing? Who are they playing? For more on those scenarios and what this might mean, we send it down to our sideline reporter, Ben Parris.
And Riley, it's not a secret that the winner of this game is almost most definitely going to be the only Big 12 representative in the college football playoff. Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark shared his thoughts this week, saying the committee clearly focuses on the wins and loss columns. Going by that principle, no 3-team loss from a Power 4 conference should get a bye over a 2-loss champion from the Big 12. He also added, in no way should a group of 5 champion be ranked ahead of our champion. Of course, Boise State winning the Mountain West Championship last night. The other thing you have to wonder, how big does Arizona State's margin of victory have to be considered for a top 4 bye?
And thanks for that, Ben. You think almost certain that means Kenny Dillingham will keep the pedal to the metal here